Okay, I have no sound all of a sudden. Can you hear me? I can't hear anything. I have no sound. My volume's up. Still, I can't hear. We were just talking and we could hear each other. Now I can't. Hello? I can't hear. I got no volume. Can't hear. I could mute the mic and unmute it, but it's not working. I have no earphones. Samantha, do you have earbuds?
My earpods?
Yeah, please. Still no volume. What's going on with the volume? My daughter's going to grab me some earbuds and I can try them. How do these work?
You need to connect the Bluetooth.
Oh, great.
So you have to go here to plug it in.
Can
you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Oh, all right.
What
There
happened?
we go. We're all set.
Okay, good. Good.
That was my fault.
Oh,
I
fair enough.
admit it. Okay.
Good.
Well, anyway, here we are. Esoteric Hours with Bradley Powers. He's not present right now. He's MIA, missing in action. So I guess I'll be here with our special guest, Gary W. White. He's an alien abductee, contactee, and voice hearer. And his experience, him and I have talked recently, and it's very interesting. Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself, Gary.
I'm just about to be 60 years old. I've been in communication with these beings for 30 years now, receiving information. It's mostly word for word, but they will do like a panoramic picture where you kind of see information. I was reading a story a guy sent me in Messenger, and he's talking about he met somebody that said they were from another planet, and this individual I was talking with was from another planet. And I didn't really think that was possible. But in the process of reading this, my guide showed me in like a picture, filled in the blanks with the different levels of development, how his story fits in with what they've taught me, and just kind of filled in more pictures in a visual kind of sense.
Right. I was just going to say that. So you get visuals.
Yes. I get visuals, feelings, word for word. They've spoken directly through me, both with me conscious and aware of what's going on, and they've spoke through me with me being shut down. And I've woke up a couple times, not woke up, came to with a couple individuals kind of upset.
Have you ever experienced automatic writing?
Yes, I do that. I don't know if it would be automatic writing in the sense that you talk, but all the time they will say things and I just type. I've done it on pads of paper and back in the day, and but yeah,
When you do it, is it consciously or like subconsciously?
it's conscious.
Yeah.
Definitely conscious. It's a very soothing feeling. It's like an instant meditation, I would describe. Very comfortable.
So what are some of the important information that they've relayed to you?
Some of the important information. Well, they've given me a breakdown of why we're here, what we're going through as far as a reincarnation process. Okay, multiple lives, learning complete human understanding.
Right.
Um, I asked them about Jeffrey Dahmer when they first broke through to me. I never could wrap my mind around why somebody would do the things that he did, and they explained he was an infant soul. He was just starting the reincarnation process. That you build karmic debt, and this gives you like a blueprint to start being born into lives. You pay off the karmic debts, then it gives you other opportunities to to be born in lives with people, say like mother, father, sister, brother, the siblings, and it goes from bad like Jeffrey Dahmer to love at the end of the process.
Yeah, well, we can say that for Jeffrey Dahmer, but how about his victims?
Well, the victims get paid back. It's a debt that he owes them. For example, say he sees one of his victims that he owes a debt to, they see a scenario where they can be born into a family where maybe the parents are irresponsible or drug addicts. He's born in as a sibling that feels an overbearing need to take care of maybe a handicapped sibling.
Uh-huh.
And taking care of this handicapped sibling in the life burns that karmic ribbon. Then maybe the next life may be a little better. But apparently it starts out kind of rough and ends in love.
Yeah, well, I think to get to the point of true unconditional love, there'd probably be numerous levels that you would have to ascend
Yes,
to achieve that.
exactly.
Right.
And one of the things they've taught me is my guides, Quintile, they're humanoid, so they look exactly like we look. You would never know none the difference if one of them walked up to you. These beings are no longer being reincarnated. So they're a spiritual being in the astral planes, and they manifest physically by manipulating matter, molecular structures, speed them up, slowing them down. So this is how they can appear like walk through walls.
Right.
Okay, how they travel in these crafts and some.
Well, that's how they manipulate all that through energy, right?
Yes,
Uh,
exactly.
Different energetic frequencies.
Exactly. They're past the physical being state and they manifest physically to work with us or other physical developmental beings and other planets.
So
And
we could consider them light beings.
I've heard it referred to as that. I've referred to them as friends, Jim, to be honest with you. They've helped me greatly.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, but I mean, in other words, they're like probably a light being because they're so close to the energy and know how to use it.
Yes.
They're at
Yeah.
such a higher level, you know.
They're,
Now
they're
they could appear. They could probably appear as orbs as well, right?
I'm sure they probably could. They could appear as a fly. They could appear as anything they
Right.
want to manifest as, basically. And it's basically an energy. It's where the same thing as where we go when we die and when we drain.
Right.
The astral planes. You're just
Yeah, I believe the extent of a god is the energy that moves us, a universal energy source or essence.
hmm
The energy that moves us, our consciousness, which
hmm
comes into play with Jeffrey Dahmer and who else, like
hmm
some hitmen for the mafia can go out and do a job and go home and sleep at night,
Yeah.
you know. So the essence of a god to me is, or the extent of a god is the energy that moves us, our consciousness, and the air that we breathe.
Yes. And they will move past that phase. That's just an infant soul individual. And that also we talked about. They say we have a misconception with the demons and whatnot. And they say these demons are basically the same
Well,
as us, but they're
you
once
can,
again infant baby souls.
all right, you can explain that to the viewers while I take Bradley's call, okay?
Okay. Yeah, the infant soul, you're beginning the reincarnation process, and it's can be brutal lives that you choose to learn. But complete human understanding is just that. It's the good, the bad, the ugly. You just don't learn the good. That's why you see People live in good lives, people live in bad lives. Right now, from what I understand, we're at the end of a cycle on Earth. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the yugas. It's Indian, Hindu cycles of the Earth. We're in Kali Yuga, which is death and rebirth. And they say this planet is going to recycle. And this is not the first time it's happened. Did we lose volume?
No, can you?
Yeah, I could.
All right. Let me send Bradley the link so he can join us here.
Gotcha.
Okay,
So, yeah,
Bradley should be joining us momentarily, the
Gotcha.
actual host of this show. I'm the co-host, and this is our guest, Gary White. You were saying, Gary?
Yeah, they've explained to me two types of beings that we're involved with. One being the Sinye. These are the humanoids that look like us. They truly live amongst us. I've experienced these beings face to face.
Yeah.
It's the crazy thing is it's always been after the experience that I realized who I was talking with. I've always wanted an opportunity to openly talk with them face to face, but I guess that's not in the cards, Jim, The other beings being what they call the Gongolay, your typical aliens, big-headed, big eyes.
Well, those are the ones who I'm in contact with, the Zeta Reticula, the
Gotcha, exactly.
shot grays. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And apparently they make physical bodies, and they work alongside these humanoids that I've been told to call the Sinye. So you got the Sinye Gongolay, and they're developing Earth as a biological warehouse. This is where they store and develop genetics that they take to different planets.
And I'm sure the genetics are manipulated from time to time.
I'm sure.
Hi, Jan. Jan Childers says hello.
Hello. They what was I going to say? Now I forget what I was going to say.
I'm sorry. My fault. I interrupted you.
That's okay.
We're talking about manipulating the genetics every now and again.
Yes, exactly. Okay, what I was going to say. The dinosaurs. They told me there's advanced humans on this planet before the dinosaurs, that the dinosaurs were basically developing genetics for the reptilians. It's what that was about, and it had to be run in real time. The Darwinism or the evolution. So it ran in real time. They got to the end of it. They got the results, everything they needed, and they stopped that, and they went back to humans, and they said that's why there's a missing link.
Well, I mean, how it's hard for me to see how man would have survived or shared the world with dinosaurs.
Yeah, I got you.
To me, that's kind of how would man survive with beasts like that roaming the earth?
It would be a rough survival, but they got evidence there was cavemen, and they did evolve to a point
So, in your opinion, what do you think actually caused the extinction of the dinosaurs themselves, but yet man survived?
You know what they just said? A big rock. So, asteroid, comet.
Yeah, but I would think that, if it was something that devastating that could wipe out the dinosaurs, I don't know how man could have survived. What they might have done was taken man off planet, because back then the population wouldn't have been, much of a volume. So they could have maybe taken a few of them off planet. And then when that disaster occurred, brought them back afterwards or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's very logical.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Right.
And it's just like they said with this upcoming, what's known as Kali Yuga and the recycling of the planet. They said there will be a small percentage left, 3 to 5%, in more undeveloped areas. It's to recycle and get back to living with the planet, not against the planet.
Well, that's the thing right now. I mean, common sense would tell most people that the balance is way out of kilter.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's way off balance.
It's way off balance, and same
Now,
with the intentions of human on human.
right.
You know,
So at any given point, you know, in the near future, it has to reset somehow.
it does, and it's supposed to be recycled. Apparently, it's not the first time
Right.
that this happened.
It happens. I mean, you know, as world population increases, it's common sense that so then do the problems of the world.
Exactly.
You know, so I mean, it gets to a certain point where there has to be a reset. So that'll lead me to my next question that I'm going to ask you. In your opinion, the 1% whose agenda is to eventually eliminate 95% of the world population and create a new world order.
Gotcha.
If they were successful in their agenda, in your opinion, would that be a good thing or a bad thing?
I would think that would be a bad thing.
Well, it would be a bad thing for the majority.
It would be a bad thing for the majority.
You
It
know,
would be a good thing for the 1%. How about
right?
that?
It would be, the world would be probably nearly not as a utopia, but pretty close. If the reset was to happen in that manner. Oh, here's Bradley. Wait a minute. Let's add Bradley. And here's our host, Bradley Powers.
Hi there, Jim. I've got technical issues. Okay, can you post that link to Bradley Adam Powers' account?
I just did.
No, you posted it to Bradley Powers.
Bradley Adams. All right, let me see. Hold on. Yeah, I just did. That's why I just put your. Oh, wait a minute. No, I didn't. I put your link in the other one. Hold on. All right, just sent the link again in your other one.
Thank you. I've got it. Yeah, I've got it now. Well, I'm going to come back in on my Bradley Adam Powers account.
All right, you're going to go out and come back in?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I had to plug in. I had to reposition. My phone was going to die. My battery. You know, is it me or do they download? You get these updates on your phone. You do the updates, and it seems like your phone's not charging the way it was. And
right.
I think they do this, so we got to go buy us a new phone.
I don't know. I can't say that. I've had my cell phone for like 7 years, and I'm still using the same battery. So.
Are you?
Yeah.
I wish I could say the same. I'm about due for a new phone.
Okay, are you where you want to be now?
Is that better now?
Yeah, except for we're getting a lot of feedback.
All right. Okay. I've lost my internet connection for the last hour. Try it.
Maybe the earbuds will work.
Yeah, I have to.
Okay, that's better.
Oh no, I guess Gary went out for some reason. Maybe his phone died. He said his battery was getting low, so I don't know. You know, it's tough. We want to apologize. You know, we have these technical difficulties that pop up every now and again.
I'm with BT. I'm going to cancel them. I'm going to cancel the internet. Yeah, I lost my internet. And
Jim McFarland.
I've got problems now. Are we live?
We are live, yes. We went live 21 minutes ago. I don't know what happened to Gary. I think it's here he is.
Yeah, I disappeared for a
Welcome
minute.
back. Welcome back. You didn't get abducted, did you?
No, not this time. It was strictly me. User error.
Well, Jim says he's not doing well today. What's wrong, Jim?
Are you getting feedback off me, Jim?
Yeah, kind of a little noise there in the background.
Hi there, Gary. Mr. Gary W. White. Sorry about this show. Having with me internet, I'm going to have to cancel them and find a new provider. To be honest with you. It happens at random sometimes. Put these in.
Yeah, you know, that can happen. That can happen for whatever reason with any internet service.
Yes.
Oh, really? Oh, and this device I'm using doesn't plug it.
Whoops. Bradley just disappeared.
Oh boy. I guess it's something that don't want us to do this show this evening or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Jim McFarland says he woke up deaf in his right ear and feels like he's been hit by a train.
Wow. Not a good way to
Well,
start.
I hope you feel better soon, Jim. Maybe that's an ear infection or something. I don't know. I don't know what happened to Bradley. Maybe his internet cut out again.
Might have. He's in the UK, correct?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, he's across the channel.
I know we got charter internet here. We're in Nevada, and it's not always the best.
Is that a satellite internet?
Yes.
Or, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I had Viasat internet for 2 years. You know, after relocating down here to Lake Wales, Florida, and I live like in the sticks amongst the orange groves.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have too many, choices, and
Gotcha.
they suck. They suck. I was getting kicked off all the time, slow as hell. I had to put up with that for 2 years, but now I found another one. It's unlimitedville, and it works like Wi-Fi off the towers.
Gotcha.
And I'm lucky. There's a cell phone tower that's about not even a mile up the road, so I get a pretty good signal. You know.
Gotcha. Yeah, we had AT&T before this, and it was the worst. I probably wouldn't be able to do what we're doing right now with the AT&T. It just didn't put out a strong enough signal.
Hi, JJ. I haven't heard from you in a while, JJ. Says the UK internet is. I don't know. What does that look like to you? What does that look like to you, Gary?
Yeah, it looks like a bad word.
I'll spell it SHIT.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how you guys are with language on your show, but yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Okay, so where were we? I think you and I have had similar experiences. We seem to be on the same page with most of the theories, but it's all interesting, nevertheless. You know.
Yeah. I think we were talking about the two different types of beings. What they've explained to me, the Signé, the Gongolais. Now people talk about 200 different species or individuals that would be coming to our planet, and they told me it's like this. It's like these Gongolais are almost like a praying mantis. There's 2,000 different types of praying mantis.
Wow.
But they're praying mantis.
Right.
They look different. Some of them will look like a leaf. Some will look like your ordinary green praying mantis.
You know that you mentioned that the leaf insects. Have you ever seen those? Those are incredible.
Yeah, there's if you sometimes Jim go on Google or on Pinterest is even better, and just put in praying mantis and look at the different praying mantises. They're crazy.
Yeah,
Some
but
look
there's
great, like
insects I've seen that are actually alive. They look just like leaves.
yes, they have
It's
praying
amazing.
mantises.
It's incredible. Yeah.
It is.
All right, pardon me 1 minute. I've got to answer Bradley again.
Gotcha.
There he is. I'm backstage. Oh, there I go. You're on.
He's back.
The good news is I'm back. The bad news is that device don't take headphones. Have you got feedback on me?
I don't
No feedback.
sound nice and clear.
What about you, Jim? Can't hear you, Jim.
Gary was abducted. You've been abducted. Now I'm going to be next.
Okay. Right, I've got Gary, we're going to have to, if you don't mind, Gary, I'd like to have you back to appear on Esoteric Hours. We're going to do our best with what we got there. We could do 30 minutes with you, but let's just say we must have you back because you're a very interesting character. You've got a lot to share, and you are an alien contactee, same as Jim. And it's definitely worth having you on this show, Esoteric Hours. So what do you think about that, Gary? Would you be willing to come back?
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so let's start the ball rolling. You're both alien contactees. Gary, what's your story? The situation, I want you back because I'm unable to share the show because of my internet connection. I just cannot share your show to anybody, Jim. I don't know if you can help, Jim, by posting them into Esoteric Family, sharing the show in Esoteric Family, and I posted it onto my timeline, but I can't post it anywhere. Okay?
Gotcha.
I've got an internet problem, so if you can share onto my timeline and into Esoteric Family, Two Seekers Prophecy, I'd be grateful. Thank you. Apart from that, I'd like to hear Gary's story.
It's a long story, Bradley. It's at 15 minutes. Yeah, it's a long story. You know, in hindsight, I could see where these beings have communicated with me my whole life. But consciously knowing what I'm communicating with, it's been 30 years.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Bradley, we are getting feedback from you.
Yeah, there's some noise going on.
I can't switch devices. I can't switch devices. This one's got lesser charge. I can switch devices. And this one has headphone facility port as well. Okay, bear with me. That's why we're going to have you back, Gary, because we are professionals and unfortunately we face technical issues.
Technical issues happen.
Well, that can happen anytime, you know. That's half of the course, really.
I'm not offended by technical issues.
Yeah, I am.
It's the same. It happens, you know.
Be with you in a minute. I'm nearing the studio. I'm in the backstage right here.
Whoops, there he goes.
We're about now.
Feedback went away.
Well, you are quiet, but you are quiet, but
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. You're good now.
yeah, really.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew. The stress.
Now that we got that straightened out.
Okay, as we were, but we're going to have you back, Gary, again. I'd like Sunday or Wednesday, whatever suitable for you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so like it's basically, we lost Gary again.
Oh, he's still there. He
Someone tried calling me. Got a phone call. Go figure, you know. I guess it's one of these.
Hang on. But we'll get that back, Gary, again. On Sunday. Oh, God, there you go. That's always. Yeah.
I guess it's bad.
Have you frozen?
Day
You
or
know,
something.
if there's any new viewers, they're going to think we're new at this.
Christopher Gibbons says hello. Merrin Thompson, Sean G are with us in the forum. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us, anybody who's watching. This is Esoteric Hours. As usual, suffering technical difficulties. And this is Gary W. White, who is a alien contactee, and amongst many things, okay, he's a voice hearer as well, and he's here to share his experiences. Gary, over to you, Gary.
Good to see you. Good to see you, Bradley. And Jen.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Gary.
Very welcome. Me and Jen's been having a little conversation here.
So when did it all begin for you, Gary?
Excuse me?
When did it all begin for you?
Well, it began when I was a little kid. The first time they came to me, and I would scream for my mom, and she'd come to my room and say, "No, you're dreaming. There's nothing in your room," and da-da-da-da. And then it dropped off till I was in my 20s when I saw the first craft a friend of mine, which was explained to me as a mothership. It was the size of a shopping mall floating in the sky, and he got very emotional and curled into a fetus position in my front seat and cried and wanted me to take him home. And they said that was a light switch for me. It was all about me. I had nothing to do with him. And it set me on this path to start, I guess I should say, became obsessed with ETs and spirituality. I never went to church. I wasn't raised Catholic or Christian.
That was the beginning. That was the beginning of your awakening.
That was the beginning of my awakening, Jim. Exactly. And it's funny because I've asked my mom just before my daughter was born, how come we never went to church? And she said, well, with you and your brother, we wanted to leave you a clean slate and decide what you wanted for yourself. And in my case, it's worked out. It's.
And I think that's the way it should be.
I agree with you. Totally agree with you. So yeah, I saw my first mothership, and then a couple of years went by, and I started having a near-death experience. Felt like my brain's flopping upside down in my head. Laid down to accept the fact one night that I was going to die, and I start hearing a voice, and it started explaining things to me, and it went away, and I couldn't get it back. And a few months later, I get the same anxiety, head rush, thinking I'm dying. Lay down, and they're back, and they say, "Well, what's the rest of your life?" They started explaining things to me, and then one day, reading a book, I see a little wireframe UFO come out from behind the back end. It did that twice. I'm all, what the heck? And they said, we're the ones talking to you. And you can call us Quintile. And we are human in appearance like yourself. And the information began.
Well, if they look just like we do, maybe you've actually talked to one and haven't really realized it.
I believe you're right, Jim. I'm pretty sure I have, and I've talked to him a few times, realizing after the fact that who they were and who I was talking to.
Right.
I was homeless for 10 years, living in the back of a truck. One of them walked out of the hills. He was a black guy with long hair. Says he's a guitar player. I'm a white guy with long hair, and I'm a guitar player. So he asked me what I'm doing, and I told him I didn't have money, I didn't have food, and he got in my truck, took me around, showed me where to get food, resources, took me to a church with a hot dinner, and asked him if he wanted to have dinner, and he says, no, I got my friends waiting on me. He walked over to his friends, and I turned to talk to one of my friends. We turned back, and they were all gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but they come
that's
right down to your level. Yeah. He's a homeless musician. He's a very, very nice guy. Someone you can kind of
a lot of people don't believe that they exist, but what you just said reminded me of an incident with Dan Aykroyd.
Okay.
He was ready to do an interview. He's had experiences with extraterrestrials and UFOs.
Yes.
And he was ready to do an interview at a studio one day, and he was out in front of the studio talking on the phone to Britney Spears, and he was standing out front of the studio at the corner, and he glanced to his right. He's seen a big old black Lincoln Continental with two tall guys dressed in black, like like the Men in Black,
Yeah,
with the black hats, sunglasses.
gotcha.
He went like this here. Then he turned. He looked this way. He's talking to Brittany, and then he turned back that way, and they completely disappeared.
Just completely gone. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when he went into the studio to do the interview, they said, "Sorry, it's been canceled."
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that. I've heard he's had interactions with these beings.
Yeah,
before.
yeah, he has. Yeah.
And I've learned a lot of creative people. They work with creative people. They like to help us develop our creativity.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You're a voice hearer. You're not a voice hearer of spiritual entities, are you, Gary? You're a voice hearer of extraterrestrials.
I'm a voice hearer of extraterrestrials. Yes, they do communicate with me, through me.
You channel them. They don't channel you, do they? Is that right?
They've referred to me as their channel.
Yeah, you're like a conduit, and I'm the same way with the telepathic downloads that I receive.
Yes, exactly. Exactly is what it is. And I've been called every name in the book, from you're stupid, you're deranged, you're crazy, and if you really look it up, it could be considered schizophrenia. It's
Right.
a disembodied voice.
It took me a while. It took me a while to come out with my experience.
Yeah.
Because for fear, obviously, fear of ridicule.
Yes.
But then it ate at me, for about a year and a half, 2 years, and finally I said, "The heck with it. I know what I experienced. If they don't believe me, that's fine. Which
Yes.
I can't blame them in a way, and it's just the way it is."
And Jim is a man with credentials. He is a bus driver, and he's also a ex-constable. So you would think that he would have no reason to be delusional or misinterpret information.
Yeah, I'm a retired Massachusetts constable and motor coach bus driver.
He worked with the law.
And it kind of bugs me that people, not everybody, a lot of people just want to listen to somebody that is got money, Elon Musk, for example, or maybe they're a police officer, but your average everyday person like me, I got your basic job. I'm your average person.
Right.
They tend to not want to listen to us. I kind of find that.
Yeah.
Well, all we can do is just relate to what we experienced, whether they want to believe it or not, that's up to them.
Jim, that's what I've kind of, especially recently, been given this another push. I've tried this off and on for 30 years, and I've gotten to the ridicule to the point where I've given up and said, the heck with it. Obviously, these people don't want to hear what I got to say. So I just started this maybe a couple months ago, and it's been completely different. And Bradley's group is where I'm posting this information. And I'm getting a lot of people that are very positive, liking what I'm doing, and I'm building up a following, I guess you would call it. But I've also called myself Mr. Block. I get these trolls and rude people, and now I won't engage with them. I'll simply just block them.
Well, you know what I do with them? I just don't pay attention to the trolls. I just let that roll off my back. That's what they want you to, that's what they want you to do. They want you to feed into it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't give them the satisfaction. Hi, Terry. Terry Sedlock is with us.
Yeah, hi, Terry Sedlock. She says hi, Jim, Bradley, and Gary.
Hi, Chris, Marie. Yep.
Says hello, fellas. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Our show's a bit bizarre at the moment. We're having technical issues, but we're trying to do the best we can. This is Gary W. White. He is a voice hearer and a contactee, alien contactee, and he is there to share his story, which we are quite intrigued about, and that's why he's on the show. We do believe everything he's saying because we have validated. He's got plenty of references to support his information as well. And you've been a voice hearer for a very long time, actually. Telepathy is how they contact you, am I right?
Yes, that's what I would consider it.
Have you seen visions as well?
Yes, I do.
Wow. Manifestations.
I was telling Jim this. They gave me an example where I was on Messenger. I get a lot of people come to me in Messenger, just like what we're talking about. They don't want to out themselves. They don't want people to think they're crazy or whatnot. So they'll come to Messenger and say, please don't share my story, but I want to talk with you. And I think they just looking for validation. But he's telling me a story about how he ran into an individual that said he was from another planet. And he told the guy I'm talking with that he also was from another planet. And I just posted this in your group, Bradley, last night. I mean, 2 years ago, I probably would have said, you know, maybe you have something confused or misunderstanding that this doesn't happen, just being human and from another planet. And they pointed out to me a panoramic picture of how this fits in. There's 78 other forms of mental, physical understanding besides what we're going through right now. These all require their own parallel dimension to what we're doing, and how this person I am talking with is from another planet. And I got a big lesson that reminded that you can't doubt what people say. My guides have told me there's as many scenarios that are possible as there are people on this planet. It's just so vast, you know?
Sean G says, so to me, that begs the question, how many people have been wrongly diagnosed and had their lives messed up just because people don't want to understand that? And I agree with that.
Yeah, me too. That's a very good statement.
I say they are blocking up our prophets. People go to the psychiatrists who are voice hearers, hearing spirits or extraterrestrials talking to them using telepathy. They go to the doctors because they don't understand, and they end up getting heavily medicated, possibly placed in an institution, and they are locking up our prophets, you know, and our voice hearers, our channelers, and psychic mediums.
You know, I got a good friend that I met like 20 years ago, and before I moved to Nevada, and I meet this guy in an apartment downstairs. I lived in an apartment. We go hang out with a guy downstairs, and I'd never met him. And he tells me, "You look very level-headed. Could you give me a ride to mental health?" And I go, "Sure. If you want to ride to mental health, why are you wanting to go to mental health?" He's all, "I'm hearing 3 voices, and everyone's telling me I'm crazy and losing my mind." And I asked him, "Do you think you're losing your mind?" He says, "No, I just hear these voices. Everyone's telling me I'm stupid, and I'm imagining this." And I said, "Okay, you want to ride to mental health? I'll take you to mental health, but we don't need to do that. You're speaking to Victoria, Joseph, and Anello Sheshe. Those are their names. You've just been introduced to them. Talk to them. They'll give you information." And to this day, we're very, very close friends. And he's a very accurate, I guess you would call him psychic, spiritual medium. He just needed to be introduced to who was talking to him. And I've done this in Messenger with some people from Bradley's group that they don't want to say this in public because everybody's going to go, "Oh, you're crazy, you're delusional." And I understand, been there, you know.
Lisa Ayo says, yes, absolutely. I just started working in mental health, and it is true what you're saying.
It is. And these psych drugs, I got a lady I'm working with that's been on Walberton and what is this other psych drug for 25 years. And she's like my buddy Gino, her boyfriend, her family, they tell her she's crazy and stupid. So I talked with her and I said, "Look, first thing, I never want to hear you say you're stupid again. Okay? You're not. You're very intelligent. The things you're taking videos of in the sky, they're for real. You got someone trying to get in touch with you and talk with you." She's been a little hard because of the psych meds. Those are some heavy drugs they put in people.
Yeah.
You know?
And they're psychiatrists. Psychiatrists are normally atheists, and they get that information from books. Many of them don't even believe in life after death.
I know. And I just had one in the group come at me and insist that I'm delusional, I'm this, I'm that. And I tried to explain it to him. And he insists, "No, you need to go get help. You need to do this. You need to get rid of this voice." And I said, "Look, you know, this is my life. I'm comfortable with it. I'm perfectly fine with what I do. They've never suggested that I hurt anybody. They've set me on a path to help people. And they've given me this profound information that I find unique. And I just want to get the information out there and help people."
Well, that's the thing. That's how I look at it, because that's information and knowledge that can't be acquired anywhere else.
No. And it's another thing. Another person last night told me that I should try to turn it into a business and make money. And this isn't not something
No, I don't do that either. I don't do
No.
that either. No. As
No.
a matter of fact, my post abduction, I'm able to energetically heal others. And Bradley can attest to that. He's talked to people that I've done successful sessions with over the internet.
I believe you.
Yeah, and that that's something that I could never do prior to the abduction.
And Jim, that's why I like taking these people that are hearing these voices, introduce them to who the voices are, then they can go out and help more people. That way I could reach more people through them.
Yeah, in other words, what they need is to be able to be guided into being able to understand what is transpiring.
Yes, they need someone to tell them that they're okay and they're not crazy. And they need validation. I see so many people come in to Bradley's group and they post their experiences. They're just looking for validation, for someone to say, hey, I went through the same thing. You're not crazy.
Well, after my abduction, that's why I started the Alien Connection Truth Network, so that people with likewise experiences could have a platform to talk about it,
That's very good.
Without having to be ridiculed. You see what I'm saying?
I struggled with the ridicule for years, and I take it very personal. I mean,
you know what? I just turned that right off. It doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't bother me one bit.
That's good. It bothers me.
I mean, if they don't want to take the advice I have for them, that's on them. That's fine. That's maybe someday they'll be sorry for not listening. Who knows? But
I think they will. Yeah, I think we're right on the verge of some major breakthrough. It's been building.
It's right around the corner. It's right around the corner. Yeah.
And people have asked, how is society going to deal if these beings became public? It was all disclosure. Everybody knew about them. People like us will not have a problem. People that are sitting there ridiculing us and having they're the ones that are going to have a problem and a hard time.
Right. Yeah, well, yeah. In other words, by the time reality slaps them in the face, it's going to be too late.
Exactly.
Paranormal Parafam Entertainment Channel says hello, all. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hi there, Parafam Entertainment Channel. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, this is our guest, Gary W. White. He is a voice hearer and alien contactee, and has been for many years. And it hasn't driven you insane. They share words of wisdom with you. Is that fair to say, Gary?
That's 100% correct, Bradley.
Well, that's the thing with me, because everything that they've relayed to me makes total sense.
It does. Me and you, Jim, are definitely on the same page.
And my views since the abduction have completely changed. My views on life, nature, and the universe itself.
Yes. It's definitely, Jim. You've been through it. It changes your life profoundly.
Oh yeah. And I'm happy with what I do when I sit here and talk about it.
Yes, me too.
I'm down here in Lake Wales, Florida, amongst the orange groves. I love nature. It's nice and tranquil.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I'm good. I'm good where I'm at right now.
I could find a better place to live at some point, but
you're not a socialite, Jim, are you? You're socialite online.
I wouldn't be on here, would I?
Yeah. You're a socialite online, not at home. Yeah.
Yeah, not in person. I'm kind of the same thing.
Yeah, that's right. People will let you down.
In other words, I don't mind not going anywhere. I'm happy being here. If you understand.
Yeah.
Same way.
Yeah. Oh.
With me, I don't know if it was I haven't had the easiest life, and I mentioned earlier I was homeless. I believe I had to go through the homeless bit to learn how other people live. I grew up in one house, all my friends, my whole childhood, and I needed to see how other people live without a house and nothing, to go out and help people.
Yeah, that's right. But you found sanctuary, or Gary?
I guess you can call that. It's been a struggle. The last 9 years have been a major struggle in my life, mostly financially. But I got a roof over my head thanks to someone in my life, and we got food and we're comfortable. It could be better. It could always be better, but it could be way, way, way worse.
Sue Baranowski says many have paranormal experiences that they themselves cannot explain and wouldn't come forward. So your sharings are wonderful. Thank you, Sue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you, Sue.
Very true. Very well put. I got to the point like you, Jim, to where, hey, you know what? I know what I'm dealing with. I know what I've seen. I don't need a government stamp of approval to tell me
Right,
this is
exactly.
reality.
Exactly.
And if you don't want to believe me, that's up to you. And they come at us going, where's your proof? I have my proof. I have over 100 scars on my body. I got the information. I got my experience. That's my proof. I'm not here to provide you with proof.
Right.
Why have you got scars on your body, Gary?
Bradley, they're unexplained. I will wake up and have scars. Now, I've asked them, and they said, I've had medical issues. I still do. And they said to fix something physical, they have to take something physical. And that's what these scars are about.
Yeah.
So that's like a trade-off.
Kind of like a trade. Jim, everything they've said is a trade-off. Like with what people call abductions, they refer to me as a genetic volunteer. You volunteer for these before you're born.
Right.
Trade-off being they will help, like with me, higher mental development, like you, higher mental develop, communicating with them.
Right.
Plus, I'm a musician, artist, poet. They help me with creativity. Sammy Hagar, John Lennon, Dan Aykroyd. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people, they told me this, a lot of people that you see getting upset and getting mad with people like us on the internet and start to get the ridicule and all that. A lot of these people are being abducted and they don't realize this, but it weighs on them, on their subconscious, very heavy, to where they lash out. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. You're lying. You're this, and they're themselves being abducted. They just do not know this.
Right.
So
you believe in the Akashic records then, that we actually visit the Akashic records first before we enter this life, this realm?
I'm unfamiliar with the Akashic records.
Oh, right. Okay.
I've never really looked into that. Bradley, when I made this communication with these beings, and this may be kind of arrogant on my part, but I've got this individual in my truck riding with me, and I realize after what he is, who he is, what's talking to me, I kind of quit the research and studying I was doing and focused on what these individuals were telling me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would sound arrogant, and I don't deny people come at me and it might not fit with what I'm saying, but I don't deny they're telling me the truth, because they're not going to come and out themselves just to be ridiculed. It takes a lot to come out with this.
Oh, it does. Yeah, it did for me. I was still a constable at the time, and when I came out with it, I was on a local cable TV show up there in Massachusetts, and coincidentally, the host was an attorney for a law office that I did hundreds of serves for as a constable.
Yeah. Huh. So, did he believe in all of this?
Well, he says he can't, he doesn't know either way, but he didn't knock me for it, if you know what I mean.
That I can handle, as long as they're professional. I would be stupid to think that everybody is going to believe what I say and go along with what I say.
Right.
I'm not trying to change anybody's belief system. I just feel overwhelmed to get this information out.
Yeah, but it was attorney Paul Santos up there in Massachusetts. He was very professional, Of course, I did serves for his law office for like 12 years, so
yeah, And I had my child's mother tell me at one point, you really need to learn to peel the onion one layer at a time, because I will meet somebody and I will just blurt it out and just tell them this is what's going on, this is what I'm going through, and it's different face to face. People don't have the nerve to insult you face to face. They can do it behind a computer and hide.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they can do it in the thread. Yeah, that's easy.
Yes. And it's caused me problems talking about jobs. I've lost jobs over it. I wonder if there's a way I can block phone calls while doing this.
Tough to be popular.
Yeah, it's tough to be on a call list, Jim, and have salespeople constantly calling you. Is what it is.
What are we going to do, Jim? Jim, we're going to shut the show down in 3 minutes or 3 minutes and have Gary back on Wednesday or Sunday at his convenience.
Yeah, you want to come back Sunday? That's cool because what I've got scheduled is guest to be announced. So if he wants to return Sunday, that'll work.
Are you working Sunday, Gary?
I may be working, Bradley. I go tomorrow. I'm getting a new job. So tomorrow I go to find out what my schedule is. And my schedule, normally I'm working Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then I got the whole week off. I only work part-time.
Okay. So Wednesday next week is good for you.
Wednesday next week would be good.
Okay, we'll have you back Sunday on Esoteric Hours, and we'll have you for a full hour, and we'll actually, maybe 2 hours, and we'll interview you and go right through your story from beginning to end, if that's okay with you.
Cool. It's a long story. It's
Yeah, we'd love to hear it, and we got the time. We'll have the time for it as well. I'm unable to share the show, so we haven't got many viewers for the show at this moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So next Wednesday.
Yeah, same time, right?
Yeah, same time. Yeah.
Yeah, it ended up being 2:00. Our time thing we figured the other day on the phone was an hour off. So I would be 2:00 my time, 5:00 Jim's time.
And 10 o'clock,
that's great.
10 p.m. Bradley's time.
Yeah, Jim and I are 3 hours. He's on one side of the country, I'm on the other.
That's amazing, the time difference in America, isn't it? America's such a big place.
It is 3 different time zones.
You know, and the funny part is, the only time we ever have in a lifetime is the moment, the here and now.
Very true.
Right.
Very true. I know, and I'm guilty of this myself. I get hung up in my past, and I'm constantly being told by somebody, let it go. Let the past go. You can't change this. And
well, the past, you got to look at it. The past is a present. Today is, you got to look at it. Yesterday's history. Today is the present. And tomorrow is a gift.
Right.
There you go. Very well put, Bradley.
I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into our late show. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your contributions. We thank you for following us. And subscribe to our channel if you can. And also add Gary W. White. He will embrace your friendship if you send him a friend request, or Jim Andre or myself. Send us friend requests. We'd love to, and share us your stories with us. We'd love to hear them. Thank you for watching, everybody. Anyway, this is Gary W. White, who's a voice here, an alien contactee, who has experienced many scars as well to clarify, his references to contacting aliens, as Jim has himself. Jim has received a tattoo. Over to you, Jim.
Yeah. That's right. Yep.
And
okay.
With that being said, I want to say I think there's so many people out there. They're just like Jim and myself. They just don't want to come out and cause problems in their lives.
Right. And and there are others out there that just can't take the truth. They can't face the truth. Right.
Absolutely. But yeah, I'd love to come back. I love talking about this stuff.
All right, see you Wednesday next week, Gary.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thanks for joining, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Nice talking to you.